Peace. Welcome to Random Rant of the Night. Driving home from a long ass day. I was thinking about some shit, man. And one of the things, like, and I see people talk about this on their podcast, and I think that what happens is, when it comes to mental health, people only care about certain people's mental health. And I get it, because we all have issues at some point with mental health. So you ain't got time really to deal with other people's shit like that. But one thing that I know is that you can get over something and not be healed from it. There's a difference. When you're over something, you can get over the fact that a person did something to you to the point where you were heartbroken. You can get over that person. You could forgive that person. Right? You can accept the fact that that person did what they did and move on. But to be healed from it is a totally different story. The pain is still there. That's mental health. This is why it's important not to mess with people's emotions, mess with people's hearts, and don't pass it off like, oh, well, that happened years ago. No. Just because it happened years ago doesn't mean it's not going to affect them years from now, or from that point that you did what you did. All of us are dealing with mental health. All of us. On some level, especially if you're a black man or a black woman, especially black men. I'm talking to the brothers, because I know men and women deal with mental health differently. We think differently, so we deal with it differently. And what happens is, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Who has the worst case of mental health? That remains to be seen. But in my experience, I see a lot of men have bad cases of dealing with mental health. Why? It's not just because of shit we did. It's some shit that happens to us. But nobody wants to acknowledge what happens to us, because we're just making excuses in a lot of people's eyes. A man can't express his vulnerabilities because people don't give a shit about a man's vulnerabilities. People don't care to the point where we don't even care as men. We look at each other as bitches if you're vulnerable on any level. And then your woman looks at you like that. A lot of our vulnerabilities come from our own damn families. And we're sitting there, we talk about mental health, but we don't talk about it deep enough in the sense of as a whole. We don't get into the actual part where mental health is a fucking subject to deal with. We talk about it, but do we deal with it? Do you understand that mental health, when you talk about healing, how do you heal? What do you do to heal? All right? It's not just talking about it all the time, having somebody to talk to. It's about actually dealing with your issues and knowing that some things will never be resolved in your healing process. Some things will never be. People think healing is getting over it. Sometimes getting over it is not the best way, in the sense of, when you get over a person, so most people's idea of getting over a person is finding another person. That's not getting over it. You got baggage. You ever heard that song, Bag Lady by Erykah Badu back in 1999 on the Mama's Gun album? That's baggage. She's talking about baggage. Bag lady, you're going to miss your boat. Carrying all them bags like that. I guess nobody ought to told you. You know what I'm saying? What do you say? She said some shit about, when they see you coming, niggas keep on running. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo. And it's true. Men have baggage too. We got suitcases. We got briefcases, suitcases, backpacks, duffel bags. We full of that shit, man. Because we don't know how to heal. Getting over somebody is not as hard as the healing process. Healing is what we need. We need to heal from our issues. And we don't heal because we're not in the space to heal. We're not conditioned, taught. We're not brought up to heal. We're just taught to find the next one. On to the next one. But you can't move on to the next one if you don't fix what's happening now within you. Because relationships, to heal from relationships is all about fixing you. So, how do you do that? Well, you got to come up with solutions to your pain, solutions to your healing. You got to come up with your own medicine. You got to come up with your own. You got to come up with your own meditation, and it might take you years to get over a person that you love, to get over a situation that you went through that caused you trauma in your life, that caused pain. You're gonna have to learn how to get over it and heal from it. Is that easy? No, because we're not taught anything. We're taught, oh, just find the next person, or don't even think about it no more. But that doesn't help, because all you're doing is suppressing all those feelings. You got to learn how to deal with the feelings and deal with them properly, and then heal from the feelings, heal from the pain. And it has nothing to do with sitting there talking to a damn psychiatrist. Psychiatrists get paid to do what they do. They're here for the comeback. They don't give a shit about you like that. And if they do, right, they're going to have to go to psychiatrists, because they got their trauma plus yours, because they're ignoring their shit to listen to you. Healing starts from within, and you have to understand the part that you play in your pain, and then you have to understand the part that you have to play in your healing. So in order for you to deal with your healing, you have to understand what part you played in bringing your pain, because you brought the pain to yourself when certain things didn't take place, and how you reacted to it when you started drinking or smoking or doing things that are uncharacteristic of your nature, because of the way you feel. The way we feel can kill us. We're not saying not to have feelings. I'm not saying not to have emotions. We all have emotions, but you got to know how to channel them. And honestly, it's going to take elders that actually are elders, because there's some people that are getting old, and then there's elders. It's going to take elders to help, because young folks don't understand that side of wisdom. Wisdom comes with experience, and who has better experience than an elder who understands what you're going through, or understands what you're going through, and is willing to help you deal with what you're going through. This is the reason why it is hard for black men, because there's nobody willing to listen to black men. There's little boys killing themselves because of mental health. And then you want to bring them up. You want to bring them back. You want to be like, oh, come back and and screaming and all this other shit, but you ignored all the shit because you was a kid. And you was like, oh, well, I don't give a shit about what kids think. Kids should be seen and not heard. You can't do that silent generation shit with these children. You know what I'm saying? These children are not built like Gen X. They're not built like early millennials. They're not built. They're different. Every generation has different shit, and you might not agree with it, but it's not my place not to express that to you. If I'm here to listen to you, I'm not going to sit there and suggest shit to you because I think that this is how you should deal with it. You need to ask for that advice so I can give you what I think. And if I give you what I think, you can make a decision still to either listen or not. But it's up to you to deal with your healing. Your healing comes with your assessment of self. You have to assess yourself and figure out what is it that's causing your pain. And then you have to understand that you are not your pain. This is something that is in you because of something, and you have to accept that you cannot change those memories. You have to accept that you cannot change what started the pain, but you have to accept that you can change it, and you have to know that you are responsible for healing yourself. Nobody can do it for you. We say we got to reach out to people. I'm not reaching out to anybody that doesn't want to be touched. And the reason why I say that is because when people don't give a shit about you, they have that same concept. They're not reaching out to anybody that they don't care about. And to protect myself, I cannot reach out to people that don't want to be healed. If they don't want to go home and do their own homework on self, why am I going to waste my energy? It is a waste of time. People say, well, there's flaws in that. I don't give a shit what you think. I don't care what you think. I'm not going to sit there and listen to people say that there's flaws in me protecting my fucking self. I can't do that. I mean, I can help anybody, but when it's time for me to leave you alone, I'm going to leave you alone. If it's time for me to let you fall down the stairs because you don't want to listen, I'm going to let you fall down the stairs. Hit your head, bump your head, learn from each fucking nick, bruise, scab, abrasion. Learn from all of that shit. But the one thing I'm not going to do is sacrifice my mental energy for anybody who does not want to take the advice from somebody that they ask. That's stupid to me. Don't ask if you don't want to hear it. So, when it comes to mental health, man, we are responsible for our own healing. And we say this to a blue in the face. It's just like when people say black people need to come together, and not all black people can do that, honestly. Because some black people are so lost in the mind, so caught on everybody else's endeavors, like all the celebrities that we post up about their money because you want their money. I don't have time to post up celebrities and what they're doing and all that other shit. I have time to work on me and mine and my family and our community. I don't have time for all that other shit. I don't have time. I don't have time to make a point that's dull as a butter knife. I don't have time, because while we're sitting here posting up everybody else, we're wasting time not doing anything else for us. So I'm going to leave you with that. This is Random Rant of the Night. Dr. A&B, African Man Born. I'll see you on the next rant. Check the podcast out on YouTube and on Facebook, promotions on TikTok and on Instagram. Peace.